Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video about telling Casey I was pregnant. Um, the day that I found out, that morning I had tested, in which I didn't think I had no clue. I wasn't having symptoms, but I had just got a bunch of pregnancy tests from Amazon. So I was like, what the heck? I'm going to test. So it was those little, like the tests that I took yesterday or the day before. It was just like that. And I could see like a really faint line, but I was like, okay, it's just, you know, my eyes playing tricks on me, like it always does. So I didn't think too much of it, but while we were out later that day, we stopped by Food Lion and got I got a first response. So after there, we left and went to his grandma's. And whenever we got there, her little dog had just escaped. So he's like, okay, trying to go to the neighbors and hunt this dog down. He was off a good while in the yard, the really backyard. So while he was doing that, I went to the bathroom and I did the test. And almost immediately, I could see a really, really faint line. And I was like, I waited a minute. I was like, okay, it says, I think it was like 3 to 5 minutes. I forget. I was like, I'm not going to look. I don't know if this is just an evap, but I'm going to put it aside and just wait the normal amount of time. So that's what I did. And whenever I looked at it, I was like, holy smokes. I mean, it wasn't like really blunt. My phone, it's Christian. It wasn't like really like dark or anything, but it was so noticeable, like the darkest line I had. Um, so I called my friend Kendra. At this time, Casey's still hunting down the dog. Called my best friend and I'm like crying. I'm like, I'm pregnant. And she's like, oh my gosh. So take the test and I'm like going out the backyard and there's like this really big hill that I had to go up. So I'm like running up it on the phone with her. I see Casey and I'm like waving the pregnancy test in the air and I'm like, I'm pregnant. Uh-huh. Flush the toilet. Um, and he's a little ways away, and then his grandma is not too far behind him, so he's like, what? And she's like, sees that I'm crying, and she's like, comes running, and she's like, are you okay? And I show them the test, and everybody's just in shock. But after, that kind of settled in, I called my mom and told her, and then I called his sister, and told her, and everybody was very excited. Um, so there's how that went. Which I didn't make it Facebook official until like maybe 4 days after that, because I kept testing and sometimes I would get a negative. Um, so I went to the doctor and, I was like, have like 5 positives and then I'll have a negative. I'm not sure what's going on, which I was really, really early. I ended up testing that day, I think it was on a Sunday, and I wasn't supposed to get my period until that Thursday. So, I mean, I was, not even late. So they went ahead and did a urine test, and of course, it came back negative, and they're like, I don't know what's going on, but, it appears that you're not pregnant. So I was like, well, I want to get a blood test done because I just had this gut feeling, I had never had a positive like that. So, which I had kept getting positives, but then I don't know if it was where my pee was really diluted and I was still so early why I would get some negatives. But, sorry, my arm's starting to hurt. So, anytime that I get my blood took, I have got to lay down or else I'm going to pass out. Like, I'm horrible at it. But for some reason, I felt, it was going to be fine. Let me just sit in the chair, let them take my blood. No. But it didn't help that the woman who was doing it was like, had stuck the needle in my arm and was like fishing around in there for a vein. But I just remember I started feeling really sick. They said that I had turned extremely pale. My blood pressure dropped tremendously. And I was like dry heaving and so hot, sweating. So needless to say, I didn't get my blood took that day. I was like, I can't do it. I just can't. I should have laid down. So we ended up leaving, still no answers. And I think it may have been the day after that, I had went to the prenatal appointment with the OB down here. And they, I told her what was going on, like how, and I showed her all the positive tests. Like there was like 7. I was like, all these are positive. They come out straight away. It's not like I wait an hour and then look and they're positive. I know I'm pregnant. And she's like, well, let me check your urine test. And that came back negative. She's like, well, we can't really go any further because, this isn't saying that you're pregnant. So we might as well y'all might as well just go home. I was like, well, do you not want to take my blood and get my betas? And she's like, I can if you want. And I'm like, yeah, that would be nice. So I went and lay down and they got my blood work. And I think it was the next day that I got the call back. And she was like, your number, I can't remember, it was either 18 or 19 of what my beta had showed up. She's like, and anything above 5 is pregnant, but it's really, really low. So we're going to have to do another draw in 2 days to make sure that it doubles. Because as of right now, it's not looking too good. Knowing that I had just told her that if I am, which I knew I was really early. So I ended up switching OBs after that. I went and got my second beta done, which it had more than doubled by then. And I ended up switching. I was pretty much done with them. So, there was that exciting little story. As far as, like I said in the other video, I've not been too sick. Right now, I just, don't have an appetite. And I know that a lot of that has to do with the heat, because I'm always like this in the summers. But I'm pretty much trying to force myself to eat sometimes because I worry that the baby's not getting enough food. But I also am going to try to find his heartbeat. I'll let y'all listen to that. I had heard it earlier. Sorry, my double chin. I listened to it earlier. He's not too fond of this, but until I can start feeling him move more often, I feel like, he's just gonna have to put up with it until I can feel him move more frequently. I'm gonna put the phone down for a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so might take me just a minute, so bear with me. I can usually find them. That's me. There he is. So there's my little baby. I don't know if I told y'all which he usually moves. He, like I said, doesn't muchly care for me doing that. But we are going with the name Kainen. Kainen. So my little Kanen. That's his name. I don't know if I've already told y'all that or not. Pregnancy brain is very real for me. Let me just throw that out there. Between forgetting everything and being all over the place, it's very, very real. But, I just wanted to give y'all a little update and say thank you to my new subscribers. I greatly appreciate y'all's support. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you've not already, hit the subscribe button. I will post another video either tomorrow or, what's today? Saturday, right? Or is it Sunday? Lord have mercy. Either whatever tomorrow is, I'll post a video, or the day after. I will see y'all later. Bye.